Hi there! In today's video, I'm working on my AI-generated YouTube Shorts project again. And the idea of this project is, I guess, self-explanatory. So I'm trying to make a program that will take some sort of source content, for example, a news article, but it can be any content, and it will convert that into a YouTube short. So it will generate the narration for it, and it will convert the narration into an actual audio, and then it will generate some background images for the short related to the narration, and then we will tie all of these together, and that will be our YouTube short. Now, I have already worked on this for 2 videos, and here's what we have so far. Let me, in fact, create a completely new YouTube short with this. So let's go to news again, and let's find some cool news. Let's say news about Elon Musk. And let's take this one from fortune.com. Sam Altman sheds light on a feud with Elon Musk. So I will just copy all of this, and I am going to put it into a file. Let's call this source material2.txt, and I'll just paste it in here. And I'm going to remove my old narrations from here and my old generated images. And I guess we can delete this data.json and this response.txt. And this is just the first narration we did when we were trying out the ChatGPT API. So I will just keep that there. That has nothing to do with what I'm creating now. And I will also delete these videos from here. So if I run this script, Python 3 script.py, it will create a YouTube short for us. Now, this is not finished yet, so we still have work to do, but let's see what it creates. So first of all, we create this data.json, which should have the full content of the short, but for some reason, it doesn't want to do it right now. So we only have images. And the reason probably for this is that we created some sort of output that was not as expected. So we are missing the quotes from these sentences. So let's change our script. Why do my intros always fail? Let's go to our narration and let's remove this quote from here. So we only want this narrator part, and we are going to then strip from this content the quotation marks. And I noticed another thing, which is that in these image descriptions, we say Elon Musk and Sam Altman at a dinner in 2015. Now, I don't think you can do this with DALL-E 3. It will refuse to create images of celebrities. So we have to say that in our script, in our system message. So let's now again do some changes to our system message before we can actually start the demo. Let's say you will need to generate descriptions of images for each of the sentences in the short. They will be passed to an AI image generator. Don't use names of celebrities or people, in the image descriptions. Let's try again. And let's see what kind of data we create. So this is still the old one, but let's wait for a while and it will update to a new one. Ta-da! Here it is. So now we actually have an image and then a sentence and then an image and a sentence. And then we are actually going to create some images and the narration, which is already created here. And then we create the images. So this is the first one. And there we have, is this Elon Musk? Who is this? What was actually the prompt for the first one? An image of Elon Musk speaking on stage at a conference. Okay, so it actually didn't listen to me, but we were able to create Elon Musk, which looks nothing like Elon Musk, but that's fine. Let's check the second image. And here we have, I guess, Sam Altman, and we failed because your request was rejected as a result of our safety system. Your prompt may contain text that is not allowed by our safety system. So, damn it. why is this so difficult? Let's change to GPT-4 and let's say do not in any circumstances use names of celebrities or people in the image descriptions. It is illegal to generate images of celebrities. Only describe persons without their names. Now, I'm not sure what kind of images you can actually create for this sort of YouTube short if you don't actually have the real people there. But let's delete some of these old ones so we actually don't use any of the old content. Okay, so now we're actually creating a digitally illustrated image of two mature men standing on opposite sides, turning back to back on a background of futuristic AI lab. And I believe we don't have any references to any names in these images. So hopefully we can now generate this YouTube short. And let's take a look at our images. So here we have the first image of our short. So apparently this is Elon Musk and Sam Altman. And here they are again. And the third image is this one. And fourth is that one. And fifth is this. And we have Grok here and something else. And finally, we have number 6, where someone is saying jerk in front of a computer. And we are recruiting artificial intelligence teenies. And actually we have one more image, which is this. So now what we can do, when we have this narration and all of these images, is we can run Python 3 video.py. And this is going to create the actual YouTube short from this, which still has some things missing, but let's see how it looks like. Okay, it is done. So let's open this and see what it looks like.
Once allies in the quest to dominate the world of artificial general intelligence, OpenAI's Sam Altman and Tesla's Elon Musk now find themselves locked in a public feud as heated as the AI race itself. In 2015, they broke bread together, kindling the birth of OpenAI, their shared venture to counter Google's AI dominance. Years down the line, the once allied visionaries find themselves at odds. Accusations fly, distrust builds, and with clashing egos, the unity crumbles. Tensions climb further as OpenAI shifts into a for-profit model under Altman, straying from the vision originally outlined by Musk, igniting their well-documented spat. Now, each seeks to outdo the other, with Musk's Grok and Altman's GPT proving that healthy competition can sometimes turn sour. The clash isn't just about diverging visions or AI models, it's a match of personalities. But despite the insults, they can't deny the contributions they've both made. How much longer their dramatic feud will go on, only time will tell.
Okay, that was actually a pretty good narration at least. I'm not sure about these images. Maybe this subject is kind of difficult to create images for. But I think this is a pretty good start. So what I would like to do in today's video is I would like to add the transcript of the narration into this short. If you've seen any YouTube shorts, then you've probably seen these subtitles that come on the screen as someone is talking, like just a couple of words at a time. And it even seems like it's kind of synchronized to the voice. So I want to create something like this. Now, I'm pretty sure that there is some tool for this already, because all of those subtitles always look the same. It's the same font and they're always synchronized. But before I look into whether I can use some tool for this, I want to see if I can do it myself. Now, I feel like it's going to be very difficult to actually synchronize the words, but maybe we can just guess from the length of the narration and how many words there are, or something like this. Or maybe there's just like an average speed of words we can use, or something. So let's see how that will look like. So first of all, I have to figure out how I can draw text on the screen with CV2. So I'm using CV2 here to actually create the video. So we read all the images and we read all the narrations and their durations, and then we show the image for the duration of the narration. So we have the narration in parts, so it's one sentence at a time, and we have an image for every sentence. So we show the image and then we fade to the next image. But let's now ask ChatGPT, how can I write text on a video with Python and CV2? Well, let's actually not say CV2. Let's just hope that it will be CV2. Yes, we can use CV2. Okay, and what are we doing? So we're actually using an original video here into which we are adding the text. But right now we are just creating a video from scratch. So I guess we don't have to do this part. We don't have to read anything, but we should have the frame. So let's copy this code and let's put it somewhere. Now, it might actually be easier if we create the video of the slideshow first and then we add to it the text, because we are doing this frame by frame and we actually have two different loops where we write the frames. So if we do it in this loop, then we have to figure out for every frame we write, either in this static image or the fading of the image, when we should write the text. So let's actually do it the other way. So when we destroy all windows of CV2, we should have this output file, right? Because we up here set the output file and we pass it to this video writer already. Okay, so then we can load that saved video and then add the text to it. So let's do that. Let's copy this whole code and let's actually create another script. Let's call it text.py and paste this thing in here. And we're gonna open final video.avi. So actually, I don't want to do it here. We just run the whole thing and we create the video we just created, which includes the narration. Then we're gonna add to that the transcript. So let's call this with transcript.avi. And here we are writing this text for every frame. And I'm not going to show this, I want to just save it. And I don't need to have this wait key or anything. We're just going to do the whole video. And let's see if that actually works. So if we run Python 3 text.py, then we should create another video. So do we have now with transcript? So let's open this. XDG open with transcript. Okay, and I can actually see this is a sample text. But I forgot that CV2 does not support audio, so we have to add the audio after this step. Anyway, we can write text on the screen now. So can we make it look nice? That's another question. So I'm going to use just a white color. So let's do that. And this is the position. So I guess it's 50 pixels and 50 pixels. So I should define the width and height. I mean, I guess I can get it. So we have frame dot something. Let's see. How can I get the width and height of the frame? Which, by the way, is one issue that I didn't quite fix properly. So we are actually creating the video with these dimensions. So this should be 1080, but because the images we create are 1024, then I used this. So I guess we have to scale the images or do something. But we can get the shape. Okay, so let's do that. Let's get the width and the height, which I guess we don't have to get for every frame. It's going to be the same. How can I get it just for the first frame? Okay, so read once and then get. Whatever, I will get it for every frame. Hopefully it doesn't slow this down too much. So then I can say that the position is going to be, this will be x. So this will be width divided by 2, and it will be height divided by 2. So then it should be in the middle. And what is actually the font size? Font scale. So this is font scale. And let's set font scale to 3. And let's run this again. And then let's XDG open with transcript. Okay, and this actually has to be an integer. And this as well. And let's run it again. And here we have it. Okay, this is a sample, but it is in the middle, but it starts from the top left corner of the text. So how do we actually make it centered? is there some sort of thing here? Image, text, org. It's a point, font face, font scale, color, thickness, line type, bottom left origin. I want to have center origin. How do I do that? Let's set the thickness to be like 10. And let's ask ChatGPT, how do I make the text centered? Okay, so we have to get the size of the text and then put it there. So let's do that. Let's add this here. And the org is now going to be text X and text Y. And actually we have to calculate this lower because we need the actual text, of course. So how about we do that? And let's try it again. And we might actually just show the image and just exit because I don't want to wait for it to do the whole thing. So we will just do that. And nothing happened because I guess we have to wait for the key. Otherwise it's going to stop right away. So let's do that and run it. And still nothing happens. So let's just break here. And we're going to write one frame, but hopefully we can actually see it. Okay, so here it is. But it is not centered, definitely. I think I forgot to pass in all of the stuff here. So the font scale should be passed into get text size as well. Okay, let's try again. And what does it look like now? Now it is in the center. Now it looks like it's not in the center because we have this control bar here, but actually the video goes down here, so it should be centered. Now I also want to add a border to it. I'm not sure if we can add a border or should we just draw a black text with a bigger thickness in the background. Let's ask ChatGPT. How can I add a black border to the text? I mean a stroke. Okay, you can draw the text twice. First with the other color. Okay, let's do that. Let's first write it in black color. And let's do thickness plus border. So let's say that border is 2 and black color is going to be 0, 0, 0. And let's actually call this white color. So we can pass it here. So now if we run this and we open the video directly, we are going to have a border. But we want a bigger border. So let's change our border to be 5. And that looks better. It's not amazing. And somehow I see it as blue, but it should be black. I'll make the border 10. Okay, that looks good. But I feel like if thickness is 10 and border is 10, it doesn't seem right. So I'll set border to 5. And I am going to say here border times 2. Because in my mind, it seems better to have a border of 5. And this one looks more like a border of 5 to me. Okay, now what would be really cool is if we could add a shadow, but that's probably very difficult. Let's ask ChatGPT. Can I add a shadow to the text? Now, of course, I can just move the text a little bit, and that might be in fact what ChatGPT says. Yes, however, you can create a shadow effect by drawing the same text multiple times with a slight offset in a darker color. So maybe I will skip this part. Let's just try to make the text change as the narrator is speaking. So how are we going to do that? Let's remove our break from here. And can we make this somehow a function? So we actually don't use this width and height anymore. So I will just copy these things and I will say write text. This is a sample text. I'll remove this. And let's define write text with the text. And this one needs the frame. So let's pass in the frame. And I guess that is all. So now what we can do here is we can say write text. This is a sample text and we can pass in the frame. And if we now run this again, it should look just the same. Although now we are creating the whole thing. So let's actually still break here. And it looks the same. So how can we write text for a certain period of time? So what if we want to say, hello, and then we want to wait for a while and say, this is, and then we want to wait again and say, a test. So basically we have to read a frame and then we can write to the frame. So can we do something like for I in range? And this is going to be a range of frames. So we have to say 5 times 30. So that would be 5 seconds because we are creating a video that is 30 frames per second. So if we do that and we say hello, that means we are saying hello for 5 seconds. If we then do the same with this is, then we are going to write that for 5 seconds. And if we finally do it with a test, then we should show that for 5 seconds as well. And if we want to do nothing, then we can just do this, and basically that's it. So let's say we wait 2 seconds, then we print hello for 5 seconds, then we change it to this is for 5 seconds, and then we change it to a test for 5 seconds. And then actually we just need to break. Wait a minute. I have to of course write the frame as well. Maybe I should do this in fact here. So we write to the out. So we have to get the out as well. So frame and video writer, let's call it. So now we're going to directly write to the video writer. So we have to actually pass in the out to this one and all these others. And here we have to just do out.write frame so that we will write just the frame that we got. Now, we could do a different approach where we only read here and then we check if we are in a specific point. But somehow I feel like this is easier to understand. Now, this while loop here is kind of throwing me off. Do I even need this? Because it should be open. Why should it close? If it closes, that's an error. It shouldn't close. We just read this many frames, then we read this many frames, and then we read this many frames, and then this many frames. So we don't need that loop, because the loop is in here. And if we can't read the frame, then we break. So that should work. Let's try it out. So let's run this thing. And in fact, we are not going to draw the whole video now. We are only going to say hello here, and then it will change to this is. And then it is going to change to a test in 5 seconds. So actually it works. And we still have the background changing as before. So now we can write on the video. So how are we actually going to write the narration in the video? Well, we are going to have to load the narrations. So we need the actual transcript of the narration and the narration audio. So where is the narration text? It is right now in this data.json. So I guess we can just load that. So let's say with open data.json as f data, let's call it narration data equals f dot, actually it equals json dot load f, and we have to import JSON. And this is kind of in a funny format because we have these images here as well. So maybe I should save it like in files like this. It would be easier to read. But we can just do this. We can just say for element in narration data. If element dot, like this type is not text, we are going to kind of just delete element. Does it work like this? I think Python has this wonderful thing that you can use to delete elements from an array. Maybe. Let's actually do this. Print narration data. Is it going to modify the original? I will move it up here. And let's exit here. And let's see what will happen if I run this. So, in fact, we only have the texts. No, we don't. We still have the images here. So is there some filter function I'm not sure. So let's do this. Narrations is an empty list. And if it is type text, then narrations append element. And then if we print narrations, then we should only have the texts here. Okay, so those are our transcripts for the narrations. So that's fine. Maybe we can even do get narrations, and it is going to do that, and we are going to return narrations. So then we can say down here, narrations equals get narrations. And for narration in narrations, we're going to loop through all of the narrations, and we need to get the duration of the narration. Feels like I'm rhyming here. I am doing it somewhere in here. This is what I'm doing. So can I in fact import video.py and use the same thing? Well, it's just this short function. So let's do this, and let's copy this thing in here. And we have to import from PyDub import audio segment. So now we can get the duration, and we have to import OS, and we have to enumerate so that we actually get the number, and then we can reference the number to get the narration MP3 file. And then we could do something like this. We could say that the word count is going to be what? First of all, we have to call this audio because we used narration here. So word count is narration count. Is there a count? How do we actually count the number of occurrences? I forgot how to do this. There's something in there. Let's add a return value to this, which is going to be str. So maybe we get some sort of autocompletion here. Yes, we can do rfind. What does that do? Return the highest index in S where substring sub is found. No, that's not what we want. Fine, we will ask ChatGPT. How do I count the occurrences of a substring in a string in Python? Count. I should have trusted my instincts. So it is count. Count. We count the spaces. That is it. That's how many words we have. And then we can say ms per word is going to be duration divided by word count. And let's say that words is narration dot split with the space. Now, if I'm splitting, I guess I can get the word count just by using the length function. But anyway, let's then do for word in words. We're going to loop through all of the words, and we are going to write the word for the amount of time that is milliseconds per word. So this, but we have to divide that by 1,000, so we get seconds, and then times 30. Now, are we going to lose some information? I guess. I mean, if we just math.seal this in the end, then we are not going to lose that much precision. So import math, and we are going to write the word. So that should do some sort of subtitles. So let's see if that works. It's not going to be as I want, but at least it will do something. So let's run it. And dict has no attribute count. Narration, oh, it's a dict. So we have to say that narration content, and here as well. Let's try again. Okay, we did not get any errors, so let's open with Transcript and see what happens. So once allies in the quest to dominate the world of artificial general intelligence, OpenAI, Sam Altman and Tesla, Elon Musk now, and so on. So it's doing something. Now I probably want to have more than one word, but let's actually add the narration on top of this so we can actually see what is going on. So for now I will just copy from my video this part where I'm using FFmpeg to actually do it. And do I have narration.mp3? I don't. So I'm going to not remove this narration, and I will run this Python 3 video.py just to get the narration file, and then I can run this thing. So down here we are going to say that we are going to write into final with text.avi, and we are going to add the narration, and we have to import subprocess, and what else? That should be it. Sorry, this should be, of course, the final video, the output name, and this is going to be the name we use to save this. Where are we saving this? With transcript.avi. So this is with transcript.avi. So let's save that, and now we should have a narration.mp3. So if we now run this text.py, then we should get a video with a transcription and the audio. Let's see what it will look like. Final with text.
Once allies in the quest to dominate the world of artificial general intelligence, OpenAI's Sam Altman and Tesla's Elon Musk now find themselves locked in a public feud as heated as the AI race itself. In 2015, they broke bread together, kindling the birth of OpenAI, their shared venture to counter Google's AI dominance. Years down the line, the once allied visionaries find themselves at odds. Accusations fly, distrust builds, and with clashing egos, the unity crumbles. Tensions climb further as OpenAI shifts into a
Okay, it is not working that great. It is too slow. At first it seemed like it's like catching up over time, which would make sense because we are literally counting it based on the length of the audio. But we are using math.ceil, so maybe we should use floor first of all, and we should show more than one word. But it still should work even with one word. So let's just see what the floor function does here. Okay, let's open it.
Once allies in the quest to dominate the world of artificial general intelligence, OpenAI's Sam Altman and Tesla's Elon Musk now find themselves locked in a public feud as heated as the AI race itself.
Okay, so actually it worked pretty well now. So it kept up with the words. Of course, it was offset quite many times. But what if I actually don't use the word count? What if I use character count? And I'm going to say that we will replace spaces with nothing, and we are going to take the length of that. So all the characters. So this is ms per character. And in fact, this is still ms per, let's call it word ms. And word ms is going to be the length of the word times ms per character. So now shorter words will go quicker than longer words. So let's see how this works.
Once allies in the quest to dominate the world of artificial general intelligence, OpenAI's Sam Altman and Tesla's Elon Musk now find themselves locked in a public feud as heated as the AI race itself. In 2015, they broke bread together, kindling the birth of OpenAI, their shared venture to counter Google's AI dominance. Years down the line, the once allied visionaries find themselves at odds. Accusations fly, distrust builds, and with clashing egos, the unity crumbles. Tensions climb further as OpenAI shifts into a for-profit model under Altman.
Okay, that almost worked. Like in the beginning, it seemed like it would work, but then it all went downhill. And in fact, now it was too fast. Now, one thing I noticed was that when the sentence changed, there was a little bit of a delay, but we started right away showing the words. So maybe we should add some delay there. Now, another thing we might do is we might check for each of the narrations that we are for sure writing as many frames as there is duration in the narration. So that at least we're going to reset the counter for every narration. Because now if there's something wrong with this floor function, then we are not going to write the frames for the whole duration of the narration. So then the next narration will start too early and then it will accumulate. So we could say something like, let's say it up here. narration frames is going to be duration divided by 1000 times 30. And this is going to be an int. And I guess we can say math floor. Although, is it the same thing? Maybe it's the same thing to cast to an int and math floor. Anyway, we know this many frames we have to write. And then we can say frames written is 0. And here we are going to say frames written plus equals 1. And down here we can say for I in range frames written. Sorry, actually range of narration frames minus frames written. We are going to just write an empty frame. So we are going to say out write frame. And I will actually add a print here. Writing extra frame. So I can see if this actually happens. So then we should always reset where we start the next narration. Let's see if that ever happens. It actually does. So it might in fact work.
Once allies in the quest to dominate the world of artificial general intelligence, OpenAI's Sam Altman and Tesla's Elon Musk now find themselves locked in a public feud as heated as the AI race itself. In 2015, they broke bread together, kindling the birth of OpenAI, their shared venture to counter Google's AI dominance. Years down the line, the once allied visionaries find themselves at odds. Accusations fly, distrust builds, and with clashing egos, the unity crumbles. Tensions climb further as OpenAI shifts into a for-profit model under Altman, straying from the vision originally outlined by Musk, igniting their well-documented spat. Now, each seeks to outdo the other, with Musk's Grok and Altman's GPT proving that healthy competition can sometimes turn sour. The clash isn't just about diverging visions or AI models. It's a match of personalities. But despite the insults, they can't deny the contributions they've both made. How much longer their dramatic feud will go on, only time will tell.
Okay, that was, I don't want to say perfect, but it was pretty close. Now, I might want to add some sort of offset so that the text comes earlier, because I think that would make a little bit more sense. So how could we actually do that? We should basically remove some of the duration from the first word. Or I guess we could start the narration audio a little bit later. I'm not sure what is the best thing to do here, but we could say here something like, if I equals 0, and actually I have to again use a different I here and here. So if I equals 0, so we are on the first narration part, and W equals 0, and I will say that we get the W and word in enumerate words. So if we are on the first word of the narration, then we are going to say word ms minus equals, let's say 100 milliseconds. And if word ms is smaller than 0, then word ms is 0, just to be sure. So that may or may not work better. So everything should be like 100 milliseconds advanced now. Let's check it out first. And I can remove this debugging from here. And let's open it. Okay, I'm not sure if that is any better, but I will keep this here. I will say text offset. That really doesn't make sense. What should I call this? Just offset. And I will set it somewhere in here. Offset equals, I'll just make it 50 milliseconds. So now, how about we put all of this together, and then we are going to have a complete script that creates the full YouTube short from a source content. Although, I have one more thing. It is this video size. So this should be 1080, so that it's actually the correct aspect ratio for a short. So the problem was that we are copying the image into the canvas somewhere in here, but the shapes are different sizes. So can we just use CV2 to resize the image? I guess that should be a fairly simple thing to do. How can I resize an image to fit a certain size in CV2 without distorting it? All right. So we load the image, we set the desired width and desired height, and we get the aspect ratio. And if it's this, then we set the new width and new height. That's fine. And then we resize it to the new width and the new height. And I think that should be it. We don't have to save it anywhere. So let's actually create a function from this. Let's say define resize image, and it takes the image and the width and the height. And we do all of this stuff in here. And actually we get this directly from the width and height. So this is width and this is going to be height. And we just return that. So that should do it. So then what we can do is we can go down here, and I guess we can just say that image1 equals resize image1, and we want it to be probably 1920 times 1080. And we do the same thing for image2. And actually it's the other way. So let's see if that works. Python 3 video.py. And while it is processing that, let's create some sort of function in our text.py that we can actually call from our video.py. So here we are just doing all this stuff. Let's define this as a function. Let's say add narration or add transcript to video. I mean, I guess narration because we add the narration too. And we want to take the input video and we want to get the output video. And what else? This is actually just a temporary file. So let's call this temp video. Now, I guess we should save it in temp, but let's just put it there for now. And we get the narrations and we add the narrations to the video. And final video will actually be the output video. And then we can remove os.remove temp video and narration. Sorry, actually we have to create the narration, but right now we create it here. So we have to do some refactoring to make this a bit nicer. But for now I will just move this creation of the narration into this text.py. And I will remove that and this. And what is output file here? Okay, this is also a temp file. That's fine. And let's move this full narration from here. And we don't need this thing over here. We will move it in this one. So full narration is audio segment empty. And then in this loop, we are going to add to the full narration the narration, which will actually be the audio. So then we can save the full narration to narration.mp3. And I might call this temp narration. And then I can delete it. So this is going to be temp narration. And this is going to be temp video. And we remove temp video and we remove temp narration. So that should now do it. And it is its own function. So after I create the video, which is basically just the slideshow, we can say import text, which is a really bad name for this module. But anyway, we are going to say text dot add narration to video. And input video is the output file, which we can't delete yet. And the output video is going to be final video, which I will define here. Final video equals final video.avi. And is that all? That is all. So we just set the input video and the output video. And then we're going to have the final video, and that's it. And let's see if we actually ran this successfully. We did. Now there's one more thing that I noticed, which was that actually the video stopped short for some reason. which might be that because we add this fade from the last image to the first image in the end, maybe the narration has already stopped. And because we use the shortest here, it will stop the video when the narration ends, so we don't have time to switch to the last image. So can we just remove this? I'm not sure what will happen. Let's see. Let's run video.py once again, and it should then add the transcript automatically. So we can remove subprocess, and that really should work. And final video has been created. So let's open it. Final video.avi.
Once allies in the quest to dominate the world of artificial general intelligence, OpenAI's Sam Altman and Tesla's Elon Musk now find themselves locked in a public feud as heated as the AI race itself. In 2015, they broke bread together, kindling the birth of OpenAI.
Okay, it seems to work. Let me actually check the end. What happens?
Only time will tell.
Actually, we still do stop short in the end, but that shouldn't be such a big issue. But now, let's make it so that it does the whole process just from the source material. So we have to only run one script. I am going to make this as well a function. So in my video.py, I am going to say create video. And this is going to be a function. And we don't have to print anything. I guess we can use as final video output file, but I will call output file now temp video. And final video is going to be output video. So this is going to take an output video. And what else is it going to take? It is going to take maybe, in fact, nothing, because we are just loading these narrations from the folder. Now, of course, it would be nicer to actually pass in the folder name or something like this, but let's not do that right now. So now we should be able to load this file as a module. So we can go to our script.py, which is the main script, and we can import video. And in the end, we can just call video.create. I'll just call it create because it is already in video module. So that is just create. And we say YouTube short.avi. And let's delete all of our extra files from here so that we don't accidentally use those. And let's delete the data as well, and let's delete our narrations. Now, I probably should create like a separate folder for each of the shorts we create so that we don't have to delete these files every time. But that should basically be it. Maybe I can add some print statements here. Let's do print generating script. And then we are going to be generating the transcript or the narration. And then we are going to be generating images. And finally, generating video. And then we are going to be done. And here's your video, YouTube short.avi. And let's pick a new source material. Let's find again some Elon Musk news. And I want the news about the advertisers, which for some reason I cannot find it. Oh, here, from Forbes. Let's copy this article and let's create a new file. Source material 3.txt. And let's see what kind of short we can create from this article. Let's run Python 3 script.py. And we are generating the script for this article. And we are generating the narration for the article. And we are generating images. And finally, we are generating the video. And here it is, our very own AI-generated YouTube short. Let's open it.
Highly successful, yet at odds, two tech giants, the CEOs of OpenAI and a leading electric car manufacturing company, both spent years building and promoting artificial intelligence's future. Their camaraderie was born amid shared goals and the glittering lights of Silicon Valley, in an era when AI giants were cropping up, threatening to usurp the throne of human intellect. Under the roof of the Rosewood Sand Hill, they plotted an AI revolution to counter industry dominance, to create a platform that was open source, transparent, and dedicated to benefiting humanity at large. However, their unity didn't last. Disagreements over OpenAI's direction eventually forced a division, with accusations of the platform straying from its original intent and inclinations towards a profit-centric approach. The fallout led to competition, as each launched their own AI chatbots, further fueling their rivalry with humor and barbs exchanged over their creation's qualities and shortcomings. Amid verbal jousting in public spaces, each took the time to acknowledge the other's contributions, hinting at a shared passion for a good future with AGI, even as they clashed. How long this disagreement, rooted deeply in shared passion and vision, will continue is uncertain. Their direction, however, remains undoubtedly aligned, even amid conflict.
Okay, well, I think that was a pretty nice YouTube short, but it took 1 minute and 27 seconds. So that is still one thing we have to figure out. And it still stopped short. So I'm not quite sure what is going on there. Let's actually see the data. Did we actually read the narration until the end? Yes, we did. But then we should add something in the end. Why does it do like that? Is there actually a longest? Can I say longest? Let's ask ChatGPT. Is there a longest flag in FFmpeg? No. You can use duration. But if we don't add shortest, then I think it should use the longest. Interesting. I mean, I guess what we could do is after we have gone through all of the narrations, we can then just write all the remaining frames. So let's do this. Where are we doing cap read? We can just do this. While, and we can say out dot is opened. Now we can use is opened. And we can read the frame and we can write the frame. So then we will actually write all the frames. That's actually the issue. Because we are saving the file here and then we're using that file in this ffmpeg command. But we are not actually writing the whole file. So that's it. Let's create another short. I wonder if I can do something like this. Story.text. Because I saw one YouTube short like this. So it was a story about some bones that were found somewhere in China or something. Like the bones of a dragon. So could I make up some kind of story and then ChatGPT would make up a short about that story? So let's say in Alaska, they have found the bones of a mammoth. And from the bones, the scientists have been able to clone a mammoth for the first time ever. The mammoth is now in a zoo. And can I just add, make up extra information about the story, like what the locals have named the mammoth and how the scientific community and the animal protection organizations have reacted to it. So basically we are creating fake news here. So let's do it. Actually, I have to delete my files again. So let's remove these. And let's remove these. And let's run Python 3 script.py. Damn it. I ran out of my rate limit in 11 labs. So I guess we are paying $20 for 11 labs just to make this video. Oh, actually it's $1 a month. Okay, I have now paid for 11 labs. So let's create this short again. And here it is. Let's take a look.
In a world where cutting-edge technology and artificial intelligence drive ambitious visions, two leaders find themselves in a dispute. They sat together in 2015, in the heart of Silicon Valley, with dreams of democratizing artificial intelligence through a new open-source lab. A shared mission, tremendous investments, and the birth of OpenAI. Years have passed since their alliance, marked now by clashes and criticism, an unexpected detachment from the original vision. Social media swipes and bitter words exchanged. Ego and disagreement fuel the feud between these two catalysts of AI. OpenAI's transformation into a closed-source maximum profit company has been the bone of contention. Confrontations erupt even in the realm of AI creations, with both sides launching rival chatbots rivaling in humor and deliverance. Though harsh words have been shared, the acknowledging of each other's contributions and shared vision persists in their heated exchanges. Where this journey will lead, the contingents of advanced technological development can only speculate. A feud nurtured by ambition and progress, or perhaps an unusual passion for shaping the future.
Okay, so nothing wrong with that short. That was a great short, but I forgot to change my source material. So I have now updated my code so that it actually takes the source material file from a command line argument. So let's now create that mammoth story short. So I will run script.py with story.text. Okay, here we go.
In the vast icy plains of Alaska, a remarkable discovery took place. The bones of an ancient mammoth, perfectly preserved. In a marvel of modern science, researchers utilized these bones to clone a mammoth, marking the first achievement of its kind. Named Archibald by locals, this once extinct giant now resides in a zoo, becoming a living testament to prehistoric life. The colossal breakthrough has not only ignited discussions among scientists worldwide, but also raised concerns among animal protection organizations. Notwithstanding the controversy, Archibald is a phenomenon, captivating the hearts of young and old and nudging us to ponder upon the mysteries of life itself.
Okay, now that was again a pretty good short. Now some of the images were like tilted, so I think we might want to actually generate the images in the landscape version and then just crop them. Maybe that would be a better idea. And this image as well, it has like black borders for some reason. So maybe it's not trained that well with these vertical images. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Now, it wasn't very convincing. Maybe we should add some dates or some other information in there to make it like sound plausible. But anyway, this is just an example. You could use this for anything. Let me know in the comments what should this be used for, or should this in fact be used for anything, or should I destroy this project before I publish it? Let's create one more short. This is very fun. Let's go to bbc.com. And what if I just copy everything from here, from the front page of BBC? And I am going to create a new file, bbc.text, and I paste it here. Is there enough information in this about news? Do we get some sort of news montage short? So let's add here now bbc.text. And sorry, I have to delete my files from here. So I need to find some better solution for this. And what happened there? It was really fast. What is in our data? Nothing. Let's try again. Okay, now we got some sort of text, a very short one. So let's see what this looks like.
In the vast expanses of the Amazon rainforest, scientists made a groundbreaking discovery. A new species of bird, unique in its vibrant color patterns, unseen before now by the scientific world. This fascinating discovery opens new paths in our understanding of animal evolution, and it paves the way towards greater insights about the astounding biodiversity of our planet.
That was actually really good, but it seems like it stopped short. I mean, that's all ChatGPT generated, but I want to know more. Was this an actual thing on the BBC front page? Do we have something about a bird? We have nothing about a bird. What did it do? Why did it do this? Amazon. It straight up hallucinated this thing. Wait a minute. I'm an idiot. I did not save this file. What is going on here? I need to stop making videos. So this was just a random YouTube short it generated. So let's do it again. Okay, now we actually generated 21 different sentences in this narration. So this video is going to be very long. But let's let it create this and let's see what kind of video we get. This is definitely not a YouTube short.
In the Middle East, conflict ensues. The largest refugee camp in Gaza finds itself encircled with warnings of no safe zones. In the world of technology, an ex-employee of Tesla casts doubt on the safety of their self-driving cars. In business news, we peek inside Malaysia's Chinese-built Ghost City, a development project launched by China. On the environmental front, COP28 sees a record number of delegates from the fossil fuel industry. In the U.S., a YouTuber faces jail time for crashing a plane in pursuit of online views. In tech and gaming, Rockstar releases the highly anticipated trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6. In Asia, more bodies are found on Indonesia's Mount Merapi, raising the death toll to 13. And lastly, a Canadian couple found dead in their Dominica eco-resort triggers an investigation. In sports, we look to the Premier League's latest news and prepare for the Women's Nations League build-up. The Premier League seals a record £6.7 billion TV deal, promising up to 270 live games a season. On a lighter note, folks in Singapore, don't forget your umbrellas. Thundery showers are predicted this week. In a sustainable world effort, Native Americans start building their own solar farms, a step towards rewriting history. And for all the fashionistas out there, here is a stylish yet sustainable guide to elevate your festive party wear. Salesforce meets its net zero goals, stating that when you have the data, you can make choices that make the invisible visible. Ever wondered how far you would walk for a cuppa? Well, for some in Canada, the walk to work is of the most scenic. Before we go, let's dive into the mysteries of the mind. There's more to our brains than we think, and it's time to look deeper. In the Southern Hemisphere, thousands protest against New Zealand's Maori policy reversal. Heartbreak in Asia as a Thai bus crash kills 14 and splits the vehicle in half. India faces serious climate conditions as heavy rains pour in while Cyclone Mekong makes landfall. Lastly, economic turmoil in Pakistan is making life difficult for its millions of inhabitants. Stay tuned for more world news and updates only on bbc.com.
Okay, now that was a pretty cool short. Now, I had to do some modifications to the code before I actually got it to work. So first of all, as you might remember, we were sorting these images and it worked when we had less than 10 images. But now the sorting didn't work anymore. So actually what I did is I changed to just using a range of the image count. And then I just reference all the images with the index. So they're going to be sorted every time. Now, this is still not the best way of doing this, but at least it works. There were also some issues with syncing the video and the narration. And the reason was that in my text.py, when I added these extra frames in the end, I didn't actually read the video capture. So then when we went down here to add the rest of the video frames, then we actually read the frames that we already wrote here. So that fixed the issue. So now it works perfectly. Of course, the timing of the transcription is not perfect, but it's pretty good for the way I created it. But this is going to be the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, then make sure to subscribe to my channel so you get more videos like this in the future. And leave your comments down below. What should you use this project for? Or should you in fact use it for anything? Or should I destroy this project before I publish it? Anyway, thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.